So you're thinking about starting jujitsu. Watch this. All right. So my name's Travis. I run Dark Horse Martial Arts. Been in the game almost 14 years, maybe 15. Um, and yeah, so jujitsu. We've all seen the taglines. We've all seen everything that goes along with it. Jujitsu's for everyone. Jujitsu this, jujitsu that. Now, I do think everyone should do jujitsu. Is jujitsu for everyone? No. Jujitsu's hard. Like, there's a lot of reasons to quit jujitsu because it's hard. Hard is the thing that makes, I would say, the highest majority of people quit. There's amazing things about jujitsu. It gives you confidence. It gives you discipline. It gives you reassurance that you could kick the shit out of someone if you had to, or defend yourself, or defend a loved one. But again, it's hard. You've probably all seen these. Like, there's a million jujitsu videos hyping it up, going, if you try it, it'll change your life. And it will. But again, it's hard. So let's talk about why you shouldn't, what happens, why it's hard, and we'll go through a couple of talking points. Now, the reality. Also, I'm walking my dog, but the reality of jujitsu, it's physically and mentally demanding. Physically, you can get injured. It's hard on the body. You wake up sore. Your knees can get hurt. Like, there's a gratuitous amounts of injuries that can happen if you're not training smart or if you're like a competitor. Now, that's all part of the game. It's a combat sport, but you're toughening up your body. You're gonna get bruises. You're gonna get sometimes broken toes, hyperextended arms. All this stuff can happen. If you train smart, it's minimized, but there's always a possibility. So, and black eyes. So if you're in a profession where you can't be walking around with black eyes, it might not be the thing. Although jiu-jitsu's for everyone, it might not be for you unless you can just openly tell them, hey, I do a combat sport where sometimes I take a spazzy white belt elbow to the eye. Mentally, it's demanding. You have to be present, or you're just going to get choked out time and time again. If you want to get better, you need to study. You need to understand the game. If you want to get better, you need to put in time off the mats to get better. So and like mentally, it's demanding because you're losing. You're losing a lot. All right. So that sucks. If you've never lost before and you're like one of those people that like either you win at everything or you don't challenge yourself, you will lose. You will get choked. You will get armbarred. You will get leg locked. It's part of the game. It's part of learning. And if you can't handle that, you're probably not going to last that long. Or you're not even going to start. Or you're going to do one class and be like, "Ugh, no, for me, my ego can't handle it." That's the next point. Your ego, it takes a giant hit. You get a shit kicking. It is part of the game, but it helps you become a better human being, in my opinion. So that's part of it. Another one, humility. There's, it's not an option, right? Humility is not optional. It's mandatory. You have to be humble when you're stepping on those mats, or they will humble you. Someone better than you will humble you. You got to be able to take that. A lot of people can't do that, and it sucks. Another reason that is really hard, there's no instant gratification. This isn't the participation medals and I get a belt every like 10 classes karate or taekwondo bullshit. It can take 2 years, even more to earn your blue belt. It can take even longer to get your purple. 10 years is like kind of a standard for someone that trains like 2 to 5 times a week for your black belt. And then you get like these 10-year-olds that get their black belt in 2 years. And then they're like, my kid's a junior black belt in karate. Yeah, you're not going to get that. You ain't going to get any of that in jiu-jitsu. Unless you're, what's his face, Moneybird bullshit. Well, there's a deer. Um, so unless you have a gratuitous amount of money and you're going to pay for your black belt, that's the only way to get it. Other than that, it's hard work and mat time. That's all you're going to get. The other thing, what we were talking about, humbling. It will humble you in the first 5 minutes. Guaranteed. You will come in, you can be an ultra marathon runner. And if you don't have any grappling experience, you are going to be exhausted. You're going to be huffing air. You're going to be like, oh man, I don't know what to do. I live in Canmore. We have some of the like most fit people I've ever seen in my life. Sometimes when I'm on these walks, I get passed. Like I can be running with my dog. I get passed by like a 90-year-old dude that's just like out for a jaunt. It's crazy. But you get them on the mats, all that shit goes out the window. You can be ultra marathoner, get roasted in the first like 30 seconds, and you're gassed. It's just a different cardio. It'd be like me trying to do an ultra marathon. I would die. But I know that that's just going to be how it is. A lot of people think that when they step on the mats, their cardio will transfer. Nope. So that's another thing. So another thing to think about when you're starting jujitsu, you want to do all that cool, like UFC stuff, all that glamorous stuff, all the social media things that glamorize it. That's not reality. It can be repetitive. It can be, I want to crack down on this move, so I'm going to do it 1,000 times. It can be boring sometimes. Sometimes, like, oh, I know this move, and you kind of get into this funk where you're like, oh, I don't need to know more. So you don't. And it can be boring. It can be grindy. You know those levels in like any video game where you're like, man, I need to level up. Let's take Pokemon. You need to level up your Pokemon to get to the next gym and beat them. Because if you don't, they're just going to smush you. I'm talking old school Pokemon, not like the new one. The new ones, and like that's the mentality these days. The new ones, your opponent, let's talk about the new ones. The new ones, the opponent picks the guy or picks the Pokemon that is weak against the Pokemon that you pick. I'm talking about the grindy shit where your rival picked the Pokemon that was good against yours and would smush you if you didn't grind. That's jujitsu right there. All right. So you got to get past that. Sometimes it sucks. It's part of the deal. Another reason, let's go over like why people quit. All right. Ego. That's probably number one. You can't handle. You can't handle being submitted by smaller, faster, newer partners, lower belts. You just go, oh, I gotta quit. I'm done. And it sucks. Another reason, injuries. Injuries and fear of being injured. That is a very common thing. And if you don't know how to train properly, or if your coach hasn't taught you how to train properly, or you're just egocentric where you're like, I gotta win every roll, you're gonna get injured. Part of the deal. It's a combat sport. No one makes out of this 100%, but no one makes out of life alive. So better do something really cool with it. Now, another reason that I've always seen, and I like stand by this. And this is why I think a lot of blue belts quit. Blue belt. By the time you're a blue belt, you got some confidence. You actually know a little bit. You get that confidence, you get a significant other. That significant other has other types of people. So you start hanging out with other types of people that are outside of your circle of jiu-jitsu people. Start hanging out with whoever it is. And the 6 closest people to you influence your decisions. And maybe those decisions are, hey, why are you going to open mat? Or why are you going to train when you can come hang out with us? Go have a beer or go talk about business or make money or whatever. And that takes people out of it. That takes a lot of the blue belts. They just leave because they have the confidence, and then they have a friend group that doesn't align with jujitsu, which is fair. That's why jujitsu isn't for everyone. Part of the deal. Then we have the people that have like misaligned expectations. So like, oh, I want to be a black belt in 5 years, but they train once a week. It's like, you ain't gonna get there. You're not gonna get to a black belt. Black belt is earned. It's not given. Not under me. Some people give it for money, but it's part of it, right? So you gotta understand. Once a week, that's diminishing returns. You got to be coming a lot more than that. So yeah, jiu-jitsu. I say it a lot. Jiu-jitsu is a lifestyle, man. It's not a hobby. If you want to get good at it, you got to make it part of your life. If you're not gonna make it part of your life, you'll stay mediocre, and then mediocrity will probably drive you to quit because you're like, I'm not getting anywhere. Well, you're not putting in the time. You're not putting in the time. You're not putting in the energy. Part of the deal. It's so common. So yeah, you'll see that time and time again. Then we have other things like who should train, right? Who should train? Anyone that's willing to struggle to grow. If you're okay with the struggle, if you're okay with hard things, like doing hard things to like better yourself, you're the people I want. You're the people I want on the mats. You're the ones that are going to grow in this sport. I absolutely love those people. I love the people that show up when they're like, oh, I had an option. I could sit on the couch or I could come train. And that coach was calling their name. That coach was like, man, just come sit. Just come sit. Skip training. But they got their ass up. They came out to the mats. They trained. Those are the people I absolutely love. When you're in it to learn and get better rather than a belt, that's when you're going to get, see the results that you want rather than anything like that. You want to have some goal oriented people on the mats there. So I know it's a little bit of a long winded speech. Let's wrap this up. If you think that it's for everyone, it's not. You've bought into a motto, a slogan, some Gracie Baja bullshit. Jiu-jitsu's for those that are willing to do hard things and maybe not get that instant gratification. That's what I love about it. Now, let me know. Do you agree with this or disagree with it? I want to know your story. Okay? I want to know if you're still in jiu-jitsu. If you've quit. If you decided to walk away, why? I want to hear a story. Let's go. If you've been through the hard shit that is jiu-jitsu, leave a comment. Tell me what kept you training. Other than that, as always, catch you on the flip side.